Hello, I'm here with Adam and Bruce from Rooster Teeth on a New York balcony. It's very exciting. It's unusually green, I don't know why, but there are still sirens and people screaming and honking their horns, so you know that you haven't left the city for too far. How are you finding Comic-Con? You've just kind of landed, haven't you?
I've seen the whole outside of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw people walking by and cosplay.
Our day, because of the time change, was from LA to New York. So we landed and went to deal with the traffic. Was basically go from the hotel to Rockstar, we had a thing with them last night, and then to the venue to set up for Let's Play Live. So I've seen my room once, and that was before my head hit the pillow, then we're back up here. So it's just non-stop.
I'm enjoying that they've put you up in a sex tourism hotel.
What?
It does feel like you're in Amsterdam. The elevators.
Oh, is that what this is?
I thought it was like
It's not for legal reasons. It's not an
hotel?
actual sex tourism hotel.
Yeah.
It's just a hotel that looks a bit like you're in Amsterdam and you might have sex in it.
Oh, there's not a lot of sex going on in my room.
No, that wasn't what I was implying. I feel bad now. I feel awful. I meant the elevators, the creepy elevators.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Bruce sleeps naked, so
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
And sometimes we'll share a bed.
Have you ever done any like fantastic sleepwalking or anything?
Oh no, I don't do anything.
Just naked sleeping.
Just naked sleeping.
Top and tail.
Sometimes.
I don't know. If you are in love with someone and you live together, you're not constantly boning when you're sleeping next to one another. It's like you've shared a bed many times, and it's like once the first initial thrust is done,
that's it.
Good night.
Yeah.
The melatonin just kicks in and you're asleep.
So it's just more like a gentle cup than an aggressive thrust.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah.
Well, everybody wants to be cuddled. They don't all
I
want sex
see.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm going wrong all the time. Damn, I'm glad that we've got to the end of that.
This is a serious interview, right?
I know.
So-
What are we talking about? News or
Well,
something?
we were going to talk about how you started off at Machinima and you're now at Rooster Teeth, but what kind of is the main difference between the two for you, if any, between working at Machinima and working at Rooster Teeth?
I mean, Bruce can speak to most of it, but I mean, the real broad stroke is a focus on production.
Yep. Absolutely. Rooster Teeth kind of encourages, I think, more of the creative aspect of actual production, so live action, animation, the stuff we're doing like on the Funhaus channel and on the No channel. And Machinima felt more of like a partner network, which is like an MCN on YouTube, which is fine. Like they have two different focuses as businesses, and Rooster Teeth felt more like focused on production. That's what we were doing, so it made sense for us to go there.
And our friends who still work there, like Ricky and Elliot, they're on ETC right now.
Yep.
They seem to have kind of separated themselves more as a production entity, which I'm guessing came from us because we said basically, hey, we're gonna go now. Any chance of maybe us taking over the brand? They said, no, not really. We want to hold on to it. I said, okay, totally cool. That's fine. And then I think they were maybe afraid that would happen with Ricky and Elliot. And God bless them. They're just doing their own thing still doing production at a company that isn't really doing in-house production as much as they used to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is where I'm a bit confused because they've got that massive push on PlayStation with their show, and it's like a very luxurious studio.
It's very confusing, isn't it?
When they moved in, Rick and Elliot go around and they're like, what the fuck is this? Why are we in that cardboard box when there's this massive studio? But weirdly, since they've moved onto their own brand, I've kind of like unsubscribed from Mission. I don't really... nothing there for me anymore.
Well, yeah, and that's the point. What you just described is exactly what Machinima is. It's kind of confusing because you don't know if they're an MCN or if they're doing original production. Or they wanted to do everything, which is again totally fine. I get it, but that was one of the reasons that we left because they weren't sure. They were spread very thin. At least we felt so.
It's very hard to rebrand yourself. I mean, I'm just speaking in the entirety of advertising and companies that. If you do one thing, you should almost stick to it, especially on the internet. If you try to switch gears, a lot of people are going to be really confused, like, wait, you're doing what now? And press releases don't really work, announcement videos maybe work, I don't know, and they can totally backfire on you. So it's a very slippery slope to go down if you're going to change any sort of direction. And we were just kind of soldiers in the trenches, and so when your parent company is making all these changes, you just kind of have to sit back and go, okay, well, we're going to keep doing our thing, and they're going to keep doing their thing. So it worked a little bit better where I think Rooster Teeth is a lot more transparent and a lot more production focused, so we're much more comfortable working in that environment.
And you, this is a bit of a selfish question, but you occasionally run the No.
Well, we don't run it.
Well, no, it's like you present the No.
Yeah,
very occasionally, you and Lawrence. What are the factors into when you get to present? And when you don't get the no, is it when Ashley has a holiday? Is it when she has a sick day, or?
So originally when we joined, we all sort of joined forces, Ashley, Meg, us, and we're like, okay, we're gonna kind of like split it down the middle. And we started doing that. It was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for us, and then they would kind of sort of either do the opposite days or the same days. And as the no has ramped up and become a larger channel and it can make more videos, we make 2 to 3 I think a day now. We sort of scaled back because we're making more videos on the Funhaus channel, just making less on the no. So it's actually just a factor of we're doing more Funhaus stuff. Because we've always liked doing the video game news thing. That's one of those things that like we really like doing at Inside Gaming and Machinima, and then basically over here at the No, we were like, hey, try this out, and so then we all sort of combined and made our own little creative space, and now they've got it going.
Yeah, I absolutely adore the No, and I really enjoyed when you were all playing mini golf the other day.
Oh, thank you.
That was delightful. Yeah. Especially your performance was 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
it's
garbage.
Strong word.
It's strong word.
Yeah. How do you deal with being a journalist now as opposed to 10 years? Because obviously we've had a lot of changes in the industry. The way that the news is pumped out, the way that the publishers work with vloggers and personalities now more than journalists, and then obviously Gamergate is an issue. How do you retain the trust of your audience, and have you noticed a change in your audience at all, or are they all kind of still as they were 10 years ago?
We just take the Switzerland approach. We're very neutral. We present what we see, and we don't try to, we have personal opinions, sure, but it has very little to no impact on anything going on in the world. We're just 2 guys. We've never really called ourselves journalists, even though we try to present the news up to the standards of journalism. That really comes through Lawrence, who is an angel from heaven, if you will, with the amount of work and just the sort of dedication he has to the news and the way it should be done and the ethics that are encompassed in there. We do, obviously, like when it comes to like titling and thumbnails and stuff like that, we're playing the game of YouTube, because if you don't play that game, you're gonna lose. If we lived in a magic walled garden where we could put up anything and it's just a horrible screenshot and the title's not even in English and it gets 1 million views, fantastic. But the No wouldn't be successful if we didn't play the game that YouTube wants us to play. And by that I mean the audience and the platform itself.
Which is entirely fair, and I like that you mentioned Lawrence does some actual work by going past page 3 of Google results.
Oh yeah, he does that. He goes to page 5.
There's a page 5?
Yeah, that's weird.
Blew my mind.
That's weird.
But then also, like, I've been going back to your question about the whole 10 years thing, I've been doing this for 10 years, going to events and seeing everything change, and I'm always just the guy standing in the back watching, while there's always, people hobnobbing and, here's my business card. I'm like, that looks interesting, cool. And I've seen it go from like the game trailers era, the early G4 days of I'm a press guy, I wear a jacket over my t-shirt and I have a cool bag on the side with a belt buckle here, or sorry, a seat belt buckle. And I am treated like the hottest shit in the world, even though my website gets 0 to no views. And then seeing smart companies catch on and go, wait a minute, no one's looking at this stuff. Let's get a guy like Jack Frags who makes Battlefield videos and give him Battlefield early, and people will watch him play Battlefield. Wow, math is easy. And just kind of, it's interesting because, like I said, we're very neutral on everything, so we just kind of were very liquid about it and just stayed with the flow. And so when the industry changed, we changed with it. That's the only way you can survive in this industry. And eventually we're going to get too old and we're going to fail miserably, but until then we're just going to keep trying to do what we do.
So what's next for sort of next year for Rooster Teeth and next year for you guys? I know that we're still very firmly in 2016, but everyone's seems to be very much over this year. A lot of people died. It was a pretty bad year.
A lot of people did die.
A lot of people died.
People die though normally. That's a normal thing.
I mean, but people that were kind of special died.
Yeah, there's just more special people today than there were a year ago.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I feel like special people die every year. This year for Funhaus, because we're focused on the end of the year, we're doing an animated series.
Okay.
It's called Sex Swing, and that's coming up. But that's sort of like at the very tail end of this year, so that's kind of what our minds are on right now. Yeah. Next year, we're gonna really try and pitch a lot more original content. So ideally, some sort of live action, something. Maybe ideally another second series to this animated series that we're doing. And then obviously the Funhaus channel is just sort of our main focus for next year.
That small little thing.
Yeah,
Funhaus channel.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we're gonna try and make more content, and we're ramping up a lot right now and hiring more people and just making our team larger.
Anything personally? Because I know that you did your series of Q&As in the car.
Oh yeah.
Which was phenomenal. Are you guys doing anything personally on your own channels? Or
I mean, we that's sort of just a fun outlet. I mean, we're talking about maybe trying to play some Overwatch more together if we can. I don't know. I mean, honestly, our focus is our job. And like you were talking about, we do stuff on the net. We also do stuff on Let's Play. And then we're doing 11 Little Roosters, which is an original series that they're doing for Rooster Teeth. And it's like, we're being pulled in about 85 different directions, which is a great problem to have when you're working at a production company. So any extra work we get to do is fantastic. And then anything beyond that, it's sort of like, it's got to be a passion thing. If I want to make a video in my car, it's because I want to. Because otherwise, 100% of my mind, body, and soul goes into Rooster Teeth and Funhaus, and Let's Play, and Rooster Teeth, and the No.
I was going to say, there's also 100 more. There's more live events next year, too. So we're going to be doing even more live events than we did this year, like the Let's Play Lives and the RTXs and stuff like that. So we're going to be busy.
If I come to Austin, can I get in the middle of your top and tail? In the sleeping arrangement?
No, that's just from Adam and I.
Just for you and I. Can I at least get a couch?
You could be the mid-spoon.
You could be the cuck. You could be the cuck on the outside.
Cuck on the outside, so I just get to fall asleep on the chair.
Well, I want you to watch.
Yeah, you gotta watch. You gotta watch.